Hey guys, welcome to another video. Today I'm doing another game review. I played a couple games and ran across just some more of the advanced tactics that I've recently showed. So I just kind of wanted to run through them again and show that these situation scenarios do actually come up and you can use them. So in this first game, I wanted to show another Panna that I found, which I'm really enjoying this tactic. And I think there was another way that I could have won, maybe a simpler one, but kind of just been really looking for this. So I'm white, and we get this line here, and I've kind of been doing a little bit exploring with this one, and I played a4. I've kind of been playing a4 when opponents are playing like e6 and either take in with their knight or their king. I'm not sure if that's a good idea or not, but I've kind of just been messing around with it to see what we can do. And just like my thought here is they're going to dump their bishop, and I'm fine with that. Like I'll just capture it with my knight. So, and then I'm kind of planning on pushing my c pawn. So he brings out his queen to attack that knight, which I was like, all right, whatever. I'll just push the c pawn and then recapture with my rook. And then he brings his knight over here, attacking this square. So I was like, all right, well, I gotta dodge that. And then so he attacks here, and then I'm like, oh, I gotta move this piece because I don't want him to get my bishop. So I move up, and then he kills my rook, and I was like, oh, wait a second, what am I doing? Like, I don't want my bishop on a3. And just kind of like looking at this line he's got here, and if he gets his king up here, he's got here and here and here, and I'm like, okay, this is not a good position for me. So I'm kind of expecting to see that, but I'm like, all right, I need to open up some more pieces that I can attack with and kind of get into his side of the board and kind of wreck his position. He does push up the a pawn, does stop me from grabbing his bishop because that was a threat, although this square is super covered, so I don't know if I could have done anything with the bishop at that point. So I bring my knight out, kind of hoping that he's going to push this at some point here, and I can attack these squares and kind of mess up his board up a little bit. So then he brings his king out, again kind of threatening that sequence, which would be bad for me. I think I lose at that point. So now I need to bring out my queen and start attacking pieces. So I come to f3, and this is kind of where what my idea is that I've got this uncovered piece that I can attack. And that's really what I was doing when I was bringing my queen out. If I come out to g4, like I'm attacking this uncovered square, but he can really just push it up one, and then like I'm gonna capture, and then I've lost my queen and I can't do anything with it. So my thought is, if I can come and grab his rook, then I'm threatening a3, which is covered by his bishop, and he can't. It would be hard for him to uncover it, or if he comes over here, then I can come back here and get a kill, and then move up and grab his bishop. So I'm at this point like, oh, I'm looking to trap his bishop. So then he pushes his g pawn, which I think is a mistake here. I think that gives me mate, but so I capture with my knight. And then I think he's kind of in this tricky spot where I'm still like, my main threat was this rook, or not my main threat, but that was kind of what my original plan was. But now I'm gonna dump this knight, and he's got all these covered pieces. He moves his e pawn. I'm not sure what was happening there. like what he was thinking, other than that maybe I'm looking to do something like that, but that doesn't make sense because really I would just go here. So at this stage, I think it's mate where I can take with my queen first. He has to recapture with his king, and then I can grab his rook, and I can run his rook down through my pieces, which would require kind of like another crafty intermediate in order to make it work. But what I did instead is I went for the Panna that I saw. So I attacked here with my knight. He grabs with his king, and then what I see is that when I take his rook, I'm threatening to attack this square and get his bishop, and he can't move his bishop anywhere. Like if he moves it here, I'm still going to attack here and get his bishop, and then if he scoots out of the way to any of these squares, I can just come over and kill his knight, at which point he has to capture back, and then I have his bishop that I can run. And then same with, if he comes all the way down here, then I can attack here because then I have the intermediate. So I attack the unguarded square, and now he's got 2 kills lined up, and my queen actually doesn't even have a second kill to do. So at that point, then I can run his bishop again. So he can just moves it out to a random square, and then like I said, I attack the covered piece, and then I can go and just run his bishop. So simple enough cleaning. Just kind of a fun game. So again, like I really liked finding that. Let's see, where are we? Right here, maybe. Seeing this move, I think is really cool to say, all right, I'm trapping their bishop at this point. Like that's the Panna right there, that I'm attacking a guarded square and an unguarded square, or making this square unguarded because he has to move his bishop, otherwise I get it. But the problem is his bishop has no square to go. So that's the first game. Second game, this one's kind of funny. I was playing late at night, and not really playing well, just kind of moving pieces, a little bit distracted. So my opponent opens with g3 and then b3, that's kind of an annoying game. I don't really like playing against it. I push my a pawn, and I'm kind of just going for this trap where I want to attack that square so I can get his rook. And at this point, like, I'm not sure what I was thinking. Maybe I wasn't thinking at all. I'm just moving pieces, and he brings out his queen, and so then I was like, all right, that's fine. Like, I can move up and we can trade pieces. He can kill here, and I've got this squares covered, so it's going to be fine. But then I've kind of got this pawn left hanging. Like, I didn't really look to see what would happen. Like, normally I would go here with my knight to try to attack this square, but again, like, I wasn't really doing too much thinking, and so I just started moving pieces. So we did this trade here, and then I was kind of looking at this like, all right, he's kind of threatening to come out here. Next, I need to get some space and like uncover some of these pieces, and I'm thinking, all right, give some breathing room for my queen so I can run out and look for intermediates, and then also threatening to kind of push up to this pawn to put a pin on his bishop. So he brought his knight out, kind of like I expected, but again, like, I didn't really do too much planning because I'm like, all right, if he kills here, he's going to dump some more of his pieces, and I kind of wanted to hold on to mine, so I was like, all right, I'll bring my knight out, and then I could recapture with my knight if he was coming to this square, which actually isn't a good idea because then he's going to be pushing that pawn. So again, not really thinking here. I do know that like I've still got these two squares covered, so my knight coming to there's not going to be a problem. So we recapture, and then we get to this spot. So I'm like, all right, I'm going to kill on f2 because he's got his rooks are doubled, and so my thought is like he's going to come down here, and then I can capture back, and his rooks are doubled, so I can come up here and grab one of his rooks and then win the game, right? And so we trade, and then I'm looking at this, and I'm like, oh, wait a second, I can grab his rook no problem, but then I don't have anything to grab the rook. Like my bishop is blocked in, so again, like I'm making moves like with plans to do stuff, but the plans don't even work. I don't know if you guys do that where you like, oh, I can do this, and then all of a sudden you're like, wait, that doesn't actually work, and now I'm in this weird position. Like, what am I gonna do here? It's like, well, I got to get rid of this queen because he can run me if I'm not careful. And like technically, on this particular move, he can't do anything. Like maybe he pushes this pawn up and we trade rooks. Nope, that doesn't work. Like I don't see, like, again, like I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just like moving pieces. So I was like, oh, I need to ditch this queen, which it looked like on that move I didn't really need to. So we trade those off, and then he dumps his king, which probably isn't the greatest of ideas, but like my bishop's pinned in here. I can't move. He's got that pawn covered. He's going to be able to like move these rooks wherever he wants and get rid of them pretty quickly, and then he's just going to have this one pawn to get rid of. So he moves his rook over. I was kind of hoping he would move here, so then he would free up that pawn, but he does not. So he kind of wasted that move because he could have gone to d1 first. So I was trying to grab some space, and again, like not super thinking about what's happening here, because now he's getting rid of both of his rooks, and then I was like, oh great, like this isn't good. He's going here next, which I've got this move, and then my bishop's covering my rook, and I can't move the rook out of the way. Like it's just not a good spot. And I was like, oh, my only option is the endgame intermediate, which is actually perfect in this situation. So he moves up, I grab that, and then I go attack the covered pawn, so he has to move past. And now I'm in a winning position where no matter what he takes, I should be able to win this game. And we're both low on time at this point, so he promoted to a queen, which is an easy win for me. I think I didn't look, but maybe a bishop wouldn't have worked either. So I don't see, like a king would have been a longer game, but I could like line up these kills where his king's going to be left in the middle of the board, and while he's killing, I can keep pushing this pawn, and so he'll be in the middle of the board. I can get two rooks and win. So I just kind of slide out of the way, let him capture pieces with my queen, and then get the win. So just kind of another example where you can get an endgame intermediate and rescue your game from your early mistakes. So just kind of, again, fun examples of the tactics that I had shown in previous videos. So hope you guys liked it. We'll see you next time.